Are we counting down? Is it running? We are filming. We're live and on location at not the world headquarters. Folks, we are at the Cowboy Country Church in Wayland, Missouri.
Are you sure we're in Wayland, Missouri?
Well,
I'm sure.
I would check the title work.
I'm sure that I'm
here. You
here.
are on the wrong side of the highway.
We are. I'm sure we're here because we're not all there.
I won't disagree with that.
Yes. But
I will agree. It might be the first time I've agreed with you.
As far as the Wayland part of things, this is our third address that they gave us the church here because they gave us an Alexandria address first.
Yep.
And I said, we're the Cowboy Church of Wayland, not Alexandria. And then they gave us Kahoka address. And I said, we're nowhere near Kahoka. And I said, can you just give us a Wayland address? And they said, we don't know if we can. So we'll see if it changes again. But it's good to see you, Hard Rock.
How you doing?
Nah, I'm not doing too bad.
We got Tahlequah, your beautiful daughter, helping us.
Yep.
We're pre-filming this, just so y'all know. This is like August 4th, the meltdown before the Western Illinois Old Threshers is coming up, and then we got Sermon on the Mount coming up, which we'll talk about that about midway. Do our little commercial.
You mentioned a meltdown. Are you talking about your crying fit you had the other day?
Well, I always kind of figured it this way, that the Western Illinois Old Threshers and Sermon on the Mount are like, that's the span of the hottest whole section of the whole year.
It is.
And why do y'all always want to have cowboy stuff in the hottest section of the whole year?
You know, because cowboys don't get bothered by
You know why?
Why?
Because it's too hot to do anything else.
That is true.
Sit around, drink tea and lemonade, and eat tomatoes from the garden.
This is the week that I'm going to try to cook a steak on my engine block. You wrap it up with tin foil and some seasonings and some onions and peppers, and you put it on the engine block and cook it. I'm going to try to do it because I know a lot of old timers that have done it.
Okay.
Yep.
You know what I just forgot?
What?
My beautiful bride, I was supposed to have called before we started filming. So I go missing tomorrow. You know what's happened. I've offended her.
Don't worry. She is already upset at me.
You were there today, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
Am I going to get yelled at tonight?
Why do you ask, like, if I was there, does that, like, automatically mean I put people in a bad mood?
Well, yeah.
I walked in, and she was kind of smiling, and I said, see, this is what you get when I call at like 8:30 in the morning and wake you up. It gives you a bright perspective on day.
And that was 8 o'clock.
And and so she texted me and she said, do you know it's 8 o'clock in the morning? And I said, yeah, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. But I really feel that there's two different perspectives on that.
Well, Isaiah went to bed at 5. I think she went to bed at 3, and I went to bed at an old man time.
An old man time, 8 o'clock.
10:30.
10:30, okay.
That's what they tell me.
Yeah, old man time.
Old man time.
Well,
at 10 o'clock, I'm getting pretty, forget hangry. They need to come up with an I'm tired angry. I get a little grouchy.
I just thought
about 10 o'clock sharp.
I just thought the whole 8 o'clock thing was a matter of perspective. You know, some people look at that and say, it's already 8 o'clock.
No.
I think she looked at that and said, it's only 8 o'clock. I really do.
Yeah.
I got
so you totally freaked me out.
Angry emojis there.
You really freaked me out.
Did? With
your first sentence. And I'm not going to repeat that, but I about had a heart attack. Because I thought, my bedroom doors are open.
You thought I was stopping by for a visit. Oh, man.
Just saying. So
that's kind of funny.
No. So it's been an interesting week. We got amazing heat. We got teased with rain. Supposed to get hotter. Thrashers is this weekend. Tons of locals that don't live here coming back. Sermon on the Mount's in a couple weeks. I mean, and it's like boiling hot.
It is boiling hot. So
I changed my shirt 4 times yesterday by 5:30.
Yes, I get that. So yesterday it was yesterday, yeah. So yesterday
was that day.
Was it yesterday?
It was yesterday. It was Wednesday yesterday, you know.
Was it Wednesday yesterday? Yeah. Okay, yeah. So it was yesterday. So I had to help somebody hook up some plumbing lines. And so I went up there, and the trench was all dug.
I got
We
a
had to cut
question
some
about
water
that.
lines.
Squirrel. I got a squirrel. Just got a question. Water lines or sewer lines?
Water lines.
Okay. Dang it.
So
You ruined my plot to my
no,
thought.
no. So we were working on them, and I was working on them down here in the trench. I was in the trench, kind of like the soldier talking about in the trench.
You're not a soldier.
I watched some World War II movies. Anyway, and I was looking up, and over in the sky was
Is that
black
how you
clouds.
pass history class, watching TV?
Yes. And I saw the clouds over there, and
At least he's on us.
I was moving fast
Uh-huh.
because you know what those dark clouds were meaning. I was moving fast, and a fat guy doesn't move very fast.
But that could be another way around that though. Them dark clouds could be, I need to go get my bar of soap so I can take a free shower out in the rain.
That is an idea.
I've done that in swimming
Yes.
trunks before. I've been that hot.
I done
And
that
stinky.
too, but then I got kicked out of the water park.
I wasn't at the water park.
So we were moving fast. It was not fast enough. Got wet. Then I get home, and I had to, my shirt was soaking wet, and I had to peel it off. My wife had to help me because I'm fat, and she had helped me get it peeled off, and I tweaked my back up there, so it's a little bit difficult. And then I get all cleaned up, and we're talking later, and she was like,
And you brag you're young all the time, and you tweaked your back taking your shirt off.
no, I tweaked my back before that.
Folks, did he not just say that?
I tweaked my
Did he
back
not?
before that.
Your daughter's shaking her head yes.
Yes, well, she only listens half the time to me.
I think she listens pretty good.
Um,
It's your other two.
Yeah, it's the other three at home.
No, two.
The other three.
I think St. Heidi listens really good.
Well, when she wants to.
No, it's because that's the marriage listening.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. So
I would tone you out too.
She asked me
Just
later.
saying.
She was like, "So did it rain at all?" And I said, "Honey," I said, "I came home soaking wet."
That's sweat.
Well, that's kind of what she assumed.
Uh-huh.
So I let her believe that because I said I worked hard.
Worked hard for this
Yeah.
money.
Please don't.
I don't
Please
own the rights to that.
Please don't.
Yeah, I sing terrible.
Oh, please don't. That was scary.
Okay.
All right.
So moving along.
How was your day in the rain?
Well, it rained. And I had to get the rocks grinded with the diamond grinders.
Okay. You're grinding out there in the rain.
I did.
Okay. Electrifying.
It finally happened.
Did you really?
Yeah. So, no, here's
Your
the
hair
thing.
looks nice. I wonder
Here's
why
the
I was
thing.
standing on that.
No. Usually, because, they blow so much air out.
That's how superhero movies start out.
I am a superhero. I'm a rock star, baby.
Don't do that again, please. Don't do that again. Don't do that again. Your shirt is lying too, because you ain't in your 40s. You're 50 already.
I'm not 50 yet.
You are
No.
you are on that crest, and you're going. "Meow." Okay,
So what?
squirrel.
I'm
sorry, I'm cranky. I'm in my terrible 40s.
Yeah. My
Okay.
beautiful sister makes these.
Okay. I want to hear about you electrocuting yourself with a grinder.
I've never been electrocuted ever because it wasn't like raining hard. It was just
Never? You need
not
to
with the
work-
grinder. No, not just with the grinder.
You need to hang out with me more often.
I use some common sense. But here's the problem. So I got the rotten goo all over my hands.
Yeah.
And I go over to John and I said, "Hey, power wash my hands."
Okay.
And I went back and picked up the grinder. My hands dripping. Because I usually just dry them on my shirt. Well, the shirt was soaking wet. So I had to go get the paper towels and dry it off.
After you went and reset the breaker.
It didn't trip the breaker. I was able to drop it. And when I grind, because my hands are shot, they've been repaired so many times, I always grind with the button not locked in on the on-off. I buy the grinders where my thumb's right there. So the second I did that, it turned off.
Okay.
It's fine. It's all good.
So I got to tell a couple electrifying stories to go along with that.
With you, I'm
you need
sure that it'll be more than that.
Well, this has happened twice where the first time I was working with my wife on a kitchen remodel, and I told her to go and pull these wires out, yank these wires out, and disconnect them. And
I can't picture this yet.
it was a garbage disposal.
Okay.
People have this wise idea of hot wiring the garbage disposals in, which is a very foolish idea. If you want a tutorial on this, from a carpenter's point of view, we're going to tell you, you put a pigtail on your garbage disposal and you plug it into an outlet. So when you need to work on it, you can unplug it. Well, I told her to unwire it, and she said, well, the circuit's dead, right? I said, of course it is. And I reached down there with my cutters. No, this time I let her cut it. She was cutting it, and I was 100% sure it was dead. And she reached down there and cut it, and boom! And I got mad at her. She ruined a good pair of my cutters.
I can't believe you say this crap.
So that's a true, honest, goodness
Oh, my
story. Ask her.
goodness.
So another time,
You really, really need to buy her an amazing, non-Shelby related Christmas present this year, or birthday present. One or the other, because she deserves it.
I had her Christmas present. I got like a 12 by 12
You
picture.
probably bought her something
A picture
you
of
wanted.
me framed, and it's like,
That's for the mice.
That's
she
for the
told me
mice,
that you got her picture to keep the mice away.
oh. Well, that type of story happened again with my associate pastor Zeke. Him and I were working on a project, and I said, "Go out and unwire those outlets and yank them out." And he said, "It's dead, right?" And I said, "Yeah, I disconnected this circuit over here, which is connected to this." And I reached down with my pliers, and I went like this, and I cut it to show him. I said, "See?" And I cut it. Go boom! Sparks.
And you say Zeke's timid or nervous around you. I wonder why.
I don't know why.
I mean, we need to have Zeke on here to tell some. If we can get 10 comments that Zeke needs to be on here, just 10, I will encourage him, even if it's got to be financially, to come on board for one, to tell some Shelby stories. I think that we would get maybe some decent views finally.
You know, my dad stopped working with me.
I don't blame him.
After the third time I shot him with a nail gun by accident, he stopped.
Did you really?
Oh, yeah. It's happened like 3 times. You're nailing on stuff, and the nails are going right through the
Did
wall.
he really do that?
And the nails are going right
Your
through the
daughter's
wall.
shaking her head, yes.
And they've hit him. And then I was,
Shelby.
these things happen.
Kids at home, do not attempt this. This is almost a professional. That's just goofy.
Almost a professional.
Do not attempt this.
They
at
were
home.
all accidents. They were all accidents. My life is I don't intentionally try to do any of this stuff. It happens, okay?
Uh-huh.
I
don't even know what to say to that.
I shut my head in the car door one time. Those things happen. It's
Your head?
Yes.
I
I hadn't had my cup of coffee in the morning.
I can't even. How do you do that?
Your hand gets quicker than your head. Your hand grabs the door and it shuts the door, and you forget to pull your head out of it.
I can't still put that math together.
I was bending down to get something out of the car seat. My hand was on the door, and I went like this, and I forgot to lean back. I hadn't had my cup of coffee in the morning. These things happen. Why are you like so surprised that these things happen? Have you had that boring of a life?
Kinda.
Okay. All right.
It's definitely been the most entertaining hanging around you in the last 2 years.
That's why Zeke hangs around with me.
See, I'm going to get to lessen my heart doctor's appointments because I get an adrenaline test free every week.
Yes. And you get to go to the heart doctor and say, that stress test you put me through, that's nothing compared to what I get.
Oh no, that shot was way worse than the treadmill test.
That shot? You got a shot?
I got the adrenaline test, the adrenaline shot the last time. I didn't care for that.
Oh boy, you got to tell us about this. This sounds really good.
I did it like 10 and 12 episodes ago.
You got an adrenaline shot?
For my stress test, yes. I didn't do the treadmill test this time. They wanted to do
treadmill not big enough?
Adrenaline test. It's a shot of adrenaline. It's like I asked that girl when I thought I was dying of my heart coming out of my chest, literally. I said, I don't see what people find attractive with drugs, because this isn't fun. You know, you can feel your pulse in your brain, and your heart is like out here, and I thought I was going to pee myself, and well, no, what if I got to go number 2? And meanwhile, you know, they got all these wires on you, and the doctor's not even in the room. He's out in the hallway on his phone. And I'm like, you know, if I had the big one right now, I'm going to poop myself. And I'm going to be tangled up in all these wires.
So if you went through that, why can't we exhibit, do a tutorial on how to tase somebody?
No.
I mean, you passed a heart test just fine. Your heart's fine. Your ticker's just good. You're good.
I just like to toy with the heart doctors.
You just like to toy.
Well, you know, every time I go to the doctor, and I'm not saying my blood pressure is always that great. I mean, obviously it's not, or I wouldn't be on all this medicine. But every time I go see the doctor or get a physical, every time, I'm not a tiny man. I'm above 300, let's say. Maybe a lot more than 300.
I've been in an elevator with you, and between you and I, we reached that maximum capacity.
Anyways,
yes.
My beautiful physique. I don't know if I said that right, but
Physique. I don't even know if between the two of us, we couldn't spell that.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So I heard these exact words. You ready?
Okay.
Boy, you're not a tiny little feller. We might have to do this twice or give you double the medication. And then, this is the next things. It's all quiet. And the doctor looked at the nurse. Is the scale broke? I'm like, well, I'm in the room here, folks. I'm not deaf yet all the way. I might be hard hearing, but I'm not completely legally deaf yet.
That's like when you go on.
I didn't know what to say. And you talk about, and then she checks my blood pressure.
Yeah, and it's high.
It was like 163 over 110. And they're like, what are you upset, or why is it normally this high? And I'm like, no! But you can't go offend somebody before they get their blood pressure checked. So I'm pretty sure I've told this. So I'm in the, where they go to inject you with all the radiation to get your imaging done.
I don't remember hearing about this, because like I wouldn't be sitting this close to you if I knew you were like radiating.
Mm-hmm. Not like a radiator. Well, they inject you with that stuff, and then you go get your imaging done.
Yeah, your imaging.
And this nice little old lady takes me back there in this quaint little place. You know, it's kind of scary. Look like you're crawling in a time capsule, and there's little lights and flashing beakers and crap, and all the radiation symbols everywhere.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Good.
So you're glowing. It's just
a squirrel.
Yeah,
or a rat.
just a squirrel.
So
it's okay.
Now this is 4 or 5 months in between this last episode.
Okay.
And she grabs me, which freaks me out when somebody touches me. She grabs me by the shoulder and she said, "Honey, you're a really big feller. What do you weigh?" Because they didn't put that you're a plus size man on it.
You're a plus size man.
I'm like, I'm 338 pounds. Oh, well, I don't have enough radiation to give you.
Enough radiation to give me. You
gotta be kidding me.
You don't have on your medical record you're a plus size man.
Somehow she didn't get the memo that I'm not tiny.
You could model plus sizes, you know.
No.
I'm just saying. I mean, it's
those models don't like to wear clothes, and I prefer clothes on me.
Well,
I'm kind of Sasquatch.
I think
it's natural SPF coverage.
Natural, it is.
Natural. That's the
fly
dad
repellent.
body part of it.
Not
natural SPF.
Fly repellent, because they get tangled up in my chest hairs.
I was going to take a glass of tea, but that just kind of killed that thought.
All right.
So Zeke was telling us a really funny story
Okay.
about really, really, really important paper.
Yes. Yes. I thought.
So
he was
we're going to talk about that in a
about
minute.
the
But y'all need to be
extinguisher.
thinking about what is the pressing and most desirable paper. Is it like a paper with your marriage license on it? You know, your house deed, your title to your Ferrari. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's
I don't
maybe
know.
it's the,
I don't,
maybe it's the
I don't
title
know
to
how
your.
many people have Ferraris.
I was getting to the next level here.
All right. Daewoo's.
Your King Ranch truck. You know.
Mine's only a Super Duty.
Okay.
I didn't get King.
But
Ranch.
let's change gears and we'll come back to these really important
Okay.
papers in life.
Okay.
So I'm going to hold this paper up, and I'll you talk about it.
That is for our Sermon on the Mount. Oh mercy! You know, between my accomplice or accompaniment and our videographer.
Here, let me make this video a lot more attractive.
We have our Sermon on the Mount event coming up, which is Lou Sterrett. He'll be preaching on the back of a horse as he's training a horse both Friday and Saturday night, August 19th and 20th. You do not want
Where?
to miss that.
Where?
Clark County Fairgrounds.
Where's that?
That is in Kahoka, where our world headquarters are. Kahoka, Missouri. That's not even how you pronounce it, but Kahoka, Missouri.
You gotta lisp it out.
August 19th and 20th, 4:30 in the afternoon. There will be food to about 5:45. Main event will start at 6
Will you be there
o'clock.
before that?
Yes, I will
You
be
better
there.
pray that he don't get into the food first. It'll be gone.
Between Zeke and I, we'll probably have our bull whips out doing some trick whipping.
Now that is
am
worth
gonna
seeing.
I'm gonna have Hard Rock down there.
No, I'm not going to be there.
Man.
I'm going to be in Hershey, Pennsylvania.
All right. Well, we're gonna have
Not
some,
the crew, just me.
some whip demonstrations, and maybe we can get Mama Bear to hold a piece of paper and I'll cut it out of her hand with a bull whip.
She'd probably be packing her 380 and might shoot you.
Okay, we're going to do some whip demonstrations as we normally do, some rope demonstrations, and so we'll be having a great time out there. You don't want to miss that, August 19th and 20th.
Where at?
At the Kahoka Clark County Fairgrounds in Kahoka, Missouri.
Is there an address on this?
It just says Clark County Fairgrounds. Most people in this area know where the Clark County Fairgrounds are.
Well, if well, see, I'm not from Missouri, so I'll just tell you this simple fact. If you're coming in on Highway 136 from the east heading west, it's to the right of the highway and opposite of the other direction if you're coming in on 136. Short
I
and
come
simple
from
answer.
New York.
Yeah, you
When
are
you
from
go to New York, there's something you'll know about New York. When you go to New York
You know what I like about New York?
and you ask, what do you like about New York?
About every 20 miles, they got a texting stop.
They do. They do. It's
You can
really,
stop and
really
text.
fascinating. Yes. So,
I just found out totally useless tax dollars money.
yes. So they, the thing that New York is really cool about is when you stop and ask somebody for directions, if they're kind enough to give you directions, you
If they're
will
kind.
never, ever hear a New York person use east, west, north, or south.
All right.
It's really remarkable. I
Kinda
never,
like dealing with the Southern
never
Tennessee person.
used that until I came out here.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Ain't that a fact, Jack?
So, did you go and vote this week?
No.
You did not go and vote
I
this
forgot.
week. Well, I got to tell about my voting experience.
I typically vote, and I truly, I was like reading the news that night, and I was like,
Yeah.
because there was a couple
Yeah.
things I wanted to vote.
Oh, it's this way.
I know.
It's this
I
So,
screwed up.
I went to the voting.
You know, being a former politician, that's really important to
That
vote.
is very important. So
I feel like you shouldn't complain unless you vote.
correct. So you better not complain.
I know.
So I went to vote, and as usual, when I walk into a business or an establishment or a place with other
Did
live,
you
breathing
set the mark
human beings,
of Shelby's here?
oh yes,
I'm sure you did.
I walked in the door, and as usual, I normally might or might not have a firearm strapped to my belt. And so sometimes that already creates a attention. Sometimes.
Attention and attention.
Both, yes. And I walked in, and 4 ladies are sitting at the table. Wonderful, sweet ladies. I know most of them. They're really, really sweet. And I came in and I said, I'm here. I said, I am here to vote for the public swimming pool here in Wayland. And all the ladies should just start looking at me. And then the one of them who knows me real well, she just like hangs her head. And the other ladies are just looking at me because they don't know what to do with me. They don't know how to take me. My wife, after 12 years, still doesn't know how to take me. And the one lady was like, well, are you going to pay for it? I said, I brought my donation. And I set a bottle of water on the counter. I thought they were going to lose it. I really thought they were going to kick me out before I was able to vote. And
I would have.
So I took the page and I went over, and they said you have to fill it inside the lines.
But you can't color.
Oh man! And when you got twitches like I do you know how difficult that is? It took me 10 minutes to do the first question.
You want to see me twitch? Y'all want to see me twitch?
Sure.
Twitch.
Let's see that again.
You gotta be able to use that arm more, buddy.
So I get one question filled out in about 10 minutes, and I get the rest of them decided in the machine, and they give me 3 stickers. Can you believe that?
Can I drink this without spitting it out?
Yes.
Okay.
And so I got home, and my wife said, did you check to see if there's a fly? So my wife said, if you've seen any of the previous episodes, he's got a problem with flies.
Yep.
So my wife said they gave you 3 stickers. Were they trying to get rid of you that badly that they just said, here, take another sticker, please leave, please leave? Can you believe that she would say that?
Yeah. She's a saint.
You know, we went to Lowe's and I got lost. I didn't get lost because I always knew where I was. She lost me in Lowe's. She had 2 associates and herself looking for me in Lowe's.
Whoa. I don't know this story, but I'm going to gather that you lost her and are blaming her.
No, I told her to go down this aisle and get something. As I was walking away, I told her where I was going.
As you're walking away, facing the other direction, and probably not talking loud so she didn't hear you. That's what my wife does to me.
Does she?
Yeah.
Well, so needless to say, she lost me. I lost her. So, I think
we got to talk about.
We need to wrap this up.
Important documents.
Yes, we need to talk about important documents.
So Jens, what is very critical paper? Enough that it can cause world news for months, and people to act plumb goofy and crazy. Tahlequah, you're waving your hand. Are we there?
Yep.
We're there. What are we on?
28.
28 minutes. Are you getting hot?
No.
Your dad's full of hot air.
So what caused world panic?
Important paper.
Important paper. You know, I had a whole supply of newspaper. Never once did I see, when people were selling toilet paper on Facebook for $10 a roll, never once did I see anybody on Facebook offer newspaper. I grew up with the Amish. We didn't see a roll of fine toilet paper until I was at least 14 years old. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you what,
must be a New York thing.
You appreciate the dry newspaper, them waxy sheets. Whoo, you're gonna be there.
They'll scratch you.
They'll cut you.
Yep.
But they don't clean.
Nope.
No, this fine toilet paper.
So this fine stuff caused world epidemic crises.
It is. You know, you wonder about the condition of our society.
I seriously think if God ever had a ha-ha funny moment, he's probably laughing at all of us.
You wonder about the condition of our society when we were so concerned about toilet paper.
Yeah.
That we were buying the stores out of toilet paper.
Make world news for months.
And at the same time, while we were buying the stores out of newspaper, we were willing to go to the store to get newspaper. we weren't allowed, or we were too scared to death to go to the hospital and be with people who were dying. And I know a lot of people that died alone.
But they can go get toilet paper.
But people can go get toilet paper.
Yep.
I'll tell you, it shows the depravity of our society, and it shows how foolish we are as a human race, that our values and our importance
Pretty selfish.
are in that right there.
Pretty selfish.
Yes. But we can hope and pray for this next year. Some are praying that Lord Jesus come back soon. Some are praying, Lord, please take your time. But
Not me.
no, not me. No, I agree. When you start singing, I say, Lord Jesus, please come back now.
Talcall, did I not tell you to take your dad 5 minutes to wrap it up? We're still going. See?
Yeah, but it's only been 3.
I'm wrapping it up right here. You see this? I'm wrapping it up. It didn't take me 5 minutes to wrap it up. Do
Now,
you see that? Do you see
some,
that? He won't be
some
cold
people
now.
might be cringing that you're wasting good toilet paper.
Yeah.
I will fold
That's
this up.
enough for a whole
Send your
use.
address on the comment section. I will fold this up and I will send it to you.
What are you gonna do if like 20,000 people do that? Like the video goes viral. You're gonna have to have 20,000 envelopes
I'll
stuffed.
send them wax newspaper.
I'm Steve Woodruff. I'm a hard rock miner.
I'm Shelby Whitney. I'm a Cowboy Country Church preacher.
Hard rock and country.
Country and hard rock. You find hard rocks in the country.